Lead story for Monday, April 28th. Dr. Geoffrey Hinton, pioneer of neural network AI, has escalated fears about AI's rapid development in a CBS News interview. Hinton outlines growing risk, including a 10 to 20% chance AI could take over, enhance cyberattacks, authoritarian misuse, and tech company prioritization of profits over safety. He compares AI to a dangerous tiger cub. He warns humanity may be facing an unpredictable and perilous future. Welcome to episode 1817. I'm your host, Todd Cochran, and our lead story today. Again, AI is in the news in a way that says, it's going to kill you. And I think, when these people speak, we have to listen just a little bit. But just like everything else in technology, AI has moved at just incredibly lightning speeds. And I know, just like everyone else, that we're getting great utilization out of it. He said, I didn't think we'd get here in only 40 years. So, this is someone that's been thinking about this for a long time. And of course, this gentleman deserves credit for building the foundation of virtually all neural networks and generative AI that we use today. And you can credit him in recent years with consistency. He still thinks the rapid expansion of AI development and use will lead to some fairly dire outcomes. And I think we're already seeing some of that already. In this fresh sit-down, the Nobel Prize winner is ratcheting up concerns, admitting that when we figured out how to make a computer brain work more like a human brain, he didn't think we'd get here this quickly. And yes, now we're here. And he basically had four takeaways. There's a 10 to 20% risk that AI will take over. The number two, that AI is a cute cub that could grow up someday and bite the hand that feeds it. And we already know that hackers will be more effective, banks and such can be at risk. And we definitely know that authoritarians can misuse AI just like the Chinese and others do. Now, I will contend to an extent that AI companies aren't focusing on safety. But I guess I just don't fully understand the safety risk at this point, to be honest with you. So time will tell on where all this falls out. And it may just be a matter of time for us to, see how this all plays out. And I'm sure we'll have a few scares along the way. We will see. That is for sure. I want to welcome you to episode 1817 and a shout out to our incredible sponsor at GoDaddy. Score exclusive deals and discounts at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. And to all of our listeners, you are the heartbeat of this show. And if you want to support GNC, all you got to do is head over to geeknewscentral.com/insider and become a GNC insider. We're lit and live. Don't just listen, experience the show live by grabbing a modern podcast app at podcastapps.com. You can interact in real time. And of course, check out the full Geek News Central universe at geeknewscentral.com. Get over there where you'll find all of our partner shows and you can interact with the content, leave comments. Of course, stay in the loop, follow and subscribe to the podcast. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at geeknewscentral.com as well for even more insider scoops. Join the conversation at geeknews.chat. Of course, you can email me, geeknews@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on X at Geek News, and you can even catch me on Facebook. All right, let's talk about the sponsor here a little bit. Of course, see if we can get through this without failure. As a listener, I hope you're ready for some savings. Get these exclusive deals right now at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy with our GoDaddy promo codes. You can start with a website or a podcast. GNC codes make it easy and affordable. Grab GoDaddy's economy hosting for just $5.99 a month, or at $5.99 a month, that's a full year of hosting with a free domain name, managed, and an SSL certificate. Let me say that again. It's a full year of hosting with a free domain name, professional email, and SSL certificate. If you're interested in WordPress, which is my favorite, WordPress managed hosting is just $12.99 a month, which includes a free domain name, professional email, and an SSL certificate. Of course, if you need a domain name, just yours for $11.99. How about GoDaddy Website Builder? Get a free 30-day trial on personal, business, or business plus plans. And of course, I use all of these products and services, and your support keeps this podcast alive. User codes, click and save. Again, you're backing an independent team of creators. Share my codes or website. Link with family and friends. Share those links with family and friends, because every time you use a code, it supports the Geek News Central team here. Thank you for keeping us online and going strong. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's just everything works. But as soon as I turn OBS on, it's OBS is what it is. But I hate to say it. OBS in my situation right now is the best solution. It really, really is. If everything would just stay up and running. I don't get it. I really don't. Hey, well, thank the insiders on Thursday. Everything's going well here. Obviously, just a little under 12 or 13 days to go before I head back to the United States. And then I'll be complaining about something in the studio in Michigan, of course. Something won't work. Story of my life right now. But hope you're doing well. Let's go ahead and get into the stack of content. Obviously, this major power outage that happened in Spain and Portugal, leaving millions in the dark. Lots of rumors on what's going on, but it appears it's some sort of frequency mismatch. When the grid gets up and running in a specific region, even here in the United States, things have to sync. And there was some sort of spike that happened, and either power plants coming online or whatever it may be. The Spanish grid operator claims the outage is due to grid oscillation, a phenomenon that occurs when the system is unable to suppress oscillations normally happen as source and loads enter and leave the system. He noted a cyber attack has been ruled out. Some are saying sun activity, earth magnetism, you name it. But they've been really brought into chaos here. And as of this reporting, all the power still was not on, and things in Madrid were pretty crazy. So I'm scheduled to go to Madrid in October now and speak at a podcast conference. So first time going there, I believe. I don't think I've been in Madrid, at least to my recollection, I'm not. So should be interesting. Hey, SpaceX has launched its 250 Starlink satellite. This happened this past Sunday, and it carried 23 of the company's Starlink broadband satellites, including 3 with direct-to-cell capability, but pretty amazing accomplishment. 250 launches by the SpaceX team. For those of you that are Android users, Google Wallet is finally getting one of Apple's Wallet's best features, and that involves you being able to basically just add a card very, very simply by holding the card up to the phone, scanning it, and putting in just a couple of details. This is something that you've been able to do with the iPhone for some time, so you don't have to manually enter those numbers. Being warned that neurotech companies are selling your brain data. Neurotech companies have access to some of users' most sensitive data and few regulations what they can do with it. Some senators are sounding alarm, and in a letter to the FTC, they basically said, hey, how are these companies handling this information? What are they doing with it? Let's have a conversation. The one thing I'll mention today is The Verge has become to almost inaccessible for me. They continue to ask for money, even though we're running ads. It just is almost a website that politically as well has become so nasty. I removed a few articles today just because it was just so over the top. It had been nice, it's like in tech. Why do these sites have to be political? I just don't get it. T-Mo has doubled prices because of tariffs, and so basically, up to this point, there was a rule that allowed items to be imported to the U.S. with a declared value of $800, and that has come to an end. And on May 2nd, no longer will you be able to order stuff that is under $800 and not pay tariffs on it. You'll have to. So the end is near in this regard. So T-Mo has added the tax, 145%. So potentially a $10 T-shirt becomes $24.50. We will see if they adjust prices downwards. I'm expecting that's going to happen to a certain extent. That's for sure. And I think what it is there's going to be some pain here for a bit. I hope not long. Hope a deal is made, but at some point, something has to give. But if you're ordering from T-Mo, the party is over in that regard. WhatsApp is working on video and voice calls for the web app. I don't know if many of you even knew that WhatsApp has a web app. They do. Of course, you can make voice and video calls via your mobile device already. So this may be coming to the web. And with Skype and other applications going out, it kind of makes sense. EcoFlow has launched a new portable air conditioner and cooler just in time for the summer. So if you have one room that seems to run a little hot, or you need air conditioning for a cabin or something like that, this is going to become available for you to be able to purchase. It packs 1,800 watts of cooling power, 2,000 watts of heating power, and its built-in battery means it's ideal for off-grid usage. There's a 1,024 watt-hour LFP battery inside. How long is it good for? It'll charge in 75 minutes, and you'll get up to 43 hours of cooling on a single charge. So that's pretty significant. They've also have, obviously, some portable refrigerators as well. So be aware of that. They got a Glacier series. So EcoFlow and Glacier series for all your off-grid needs. Take this big EcoFlow with you and put it in your if you're glamping, have a really fancy camp. Kickstarter is adding a tariff manager to let creators add surcharges to previously funded products. Backers will have the option to decline and get a full refund as well. So if you've backed something recently and it hasn't shipped yet, you're going to have to pay an additional tariff on that. AI helps unveil the cause of Alzheimer's disease and identifies a therapeutic candidate. A new study found the gene recognized as a biomarker for Alzheimer's which they say is actually a cause of it, was announced by the University of California, San Diego, due to its previous unknown secondary function. Researchers used AI to help unravel the mystery of Alzheimer's and discover a potential treatment that obstructs the gene's, basically the gene's effect. So a team led by one of the professors at the university's bioengineering department had previously discovered a potential blood biomarker for early detection of Alzheimer's called PGDH. But now they discovered the correlation. The more protein and RNA that it produces, again, back to RNA, the more advanced the disease. And after more research, they end up with a therapeutic candidate, which demonstrated efficiency that has a potential of being something that could be tested in clinical trials. So if this is the case, and AI helped out with this, this is big news. This is very, 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 very big news. And we'll see how this develops from a treatment standpoint, and as if more diseases are detected. If you are an Android user, Google is giving Android its own showcase a week before Google I/O. And this is the first time Google has held such a showcase event before I/O. The company says that people have been asking for more ways to learn about how the Android experience is changing and giving the ecosystem its own spotlight ahead of the main event as one way to do that. So the Android show, I/O edition, will air on May 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Of course, Google I/O takes place a week later, starting on May 20th. So we'll have more details as this is announced. A scientist is claiming that the Big Bang Theory is wrong and is sharing a new theory about how the universe was made. And there's plenty of conspiracy theories, of course. And of course, I always want to know is what is the universe expanding into it? Richard Liu of the University of Alabama in Huntsville reckons it was a whole series rather than one individual mega explosion. He published his alternative theory that cosmos came about through a number of rapid-fire bursts, and he's built a model that may explain the missing dark matter and dark energy. So link will be up in the show notes for those of you that are interested to read through the full piece. As always, criminals are pretending to be Microsoft, Google, and Apple in phishing attacks. Again, they're impersonating popular tech firms. This is just something that's continuing to happen. And just remember, Microsoft, Apple, and Google will not call you. You need to make sure that you're telling your family members this. But MasterCard is seeing a rise in fraud, and it just continues. Again, selling fake services. Be aware. Or getting a refund for a service that was never done and a charge that was never made. PC World is reporting on Brave's browser newest tool, which swats away those annoying cookie pop-ups. Cookie Crumbler, I like that word. Cookie Crumbler combines AI with manual human review to build a database of cookie pop-ups and methods to get rid of them. This method for detecting and blocking these ubiquitous cookie consent notices across the web with a variety of approaches. Blocking these pop-up was already built into Brave, but blocking the pop-up wasn't the biggest problem. According to the announcement, it's doing so without breaking the page afterward. It requires an approach that's almost tailored to each individual site, as these notices are similar but not identical across the web. So Cookie Cumber aggregates auto detection with a large language model combined with human reviewers who can iron out the wrinkles where LLMs make mistake. The bad news, Brave is publishing Cookie Crumbler as an open source tool, so it could be implemented and iterated by other teams. So if you prefer an alternate browser, I don't think that's bad news. I think that's good news, to be honest with you. Next, Netflix Tundum, TUDUM 2020 event will stream live next month. So Stranger Things, Squid Games, One Piece, and Frankenstein are all going to be there. So they dropped a trailer teasing what's going to be at this year's Tudum, which will be streamed live from Kia Forums in Los Angeles on May 31st. So if you're interested in this, it's the first I've heard of the event. I'm not super familiar with it. Feel free to check it out. The FBI finally has placed a bounty on Salt Typhoon's $10 million for info on the infamous Chinese hacking group. It says relevant information can result in a bounty of up to $10 million. Of course, we know last week the FBI posted a new announcement asking for the public help, and it doesn't always a good idea to throw a little bit of a reward on there. So that's beautiful. FBI is issuing this announcement to ask the public to report information about PRC affiliate activity. Investigation of these actors and activities have revealed a broad and significant cyber campaign to leverage access to networks and target victims. So $10 million if you have the right information. That's for sure. 4 million have been affected by VeriSource data breach. VeriSource says the personal information of 4 million people was compromised in February in a cyber attack. Also, there was one other one. I guess I don't have it next. It would have been nice if I had that as the next article, right? So imagine an asteroid so valuable that it was worth 10 000 000 000 000 000 dollars. Yes, an asteroid that was so much full of gold and rare earth minerals that it would make everyone on Earth a billionaire. Well, let's just realize that if they were actually able to capture this 143 million 143 mile asteroid and get it back to Earth, instantly gold and everything would be worth nothing. Now, this value is meaningless in every way. There's absolutely no way to bring this asteroid back to Earth. But they are going to go out and scientists are going to be looking at it. And we're going to figure it out. But again, there's goals and then there are hills. And the money will be made by those people providing the tools to go get their gold. That is for sure. Interesting announcement by LG. They've introduced what they're calling the first QNED TV, capable of transmitting audio and video wirelessly. Why do I need a TV that will transmit video wirelessly? This I do not understand. I understand audio wirelessly. Go into a sound bar or something to that effect. But why do I need video transmitted wirelessly? Someone explain that one to me. A link will be up in the show notes. If you tried to get into Coinbase, they had a 2FA factor error. And some people thought that their accounts were hacked. And logs were showing failed log attempts as failed 2FA codes. And no announcement from Coinbase, but whatever it was, they fixed it. So go check your Coinbase account. iOS and Android juice jacking defenses have been trivial to bypass for years. You know what that is, right? When you have a public charging system that you probably shouldn't trust, but you plug into otherwise, And if that charging source is connected to a data source, that data source then could get access to your phone. We know that a decade ago, Apple and Google started updating iOS to Android to make them less susceptible to juice jacking. Now researchers are revealing that for years, the mitigations have suffered from a fundamental defect that has made them trivial to bypass. An attacker has really been able to get in for a while. So they say there needs to be some additional security here. And it's quite a good write-up of what is happening. Carry your own power banks, please. Do not plug into public power unless you absolutely need it. And then when you do, I recommend turning off your phone. Here is an article from The Verge, and this is the shit I'm talking about with The Verge. Elon Musk Doge ties could get his company out of $2 billion in potential liability. Of course, this comes from a report assembled by the Democratic staff for Senate Homeland Security and says that he could, if he really worked hard, get out of 2.37 in potential legal liability due to his influence. I think politicians need to be investigated. That's who we need to be looking at in a big, big way. How do these politicians get rich on their salaries? That's what we need to ask. It's being reported that Apple could be planning an affordable Vision Pro and smart glasses to launch by 2026. Apple's continued to expand its effort to extend virtual reality or the XR market and plans to launch more affordable version of its Vision Pro headsets in 2025, late 2025 or early 2026. So, and potentially Apple glasses. Time will tell on whether or not this happens or not. Oh, here it is. An Oregon agency won't say if hackers stole data in a cyber attack. The Oregon Department of Environmental Quality on Friday declined to confirm or deny reports that ransomware group Residia was behind the cyber attacks and stole department data, including sensitive employee information. The department said in a news release on Friday that the claims referenced in recent media coverage were part of its investigation. The department said it had not engaged in ransomware discussions, but not that one had been requested. So most of the servers were back online after a bit. So did they pay the ransom, or was there not an attack? Google is going cold on Europe, stops making smart thermostats for continental conditions, and just about bricks some of its older models everywhere. They slipped its Euro plans into a post that announced first and second gen Nest smart thermostats will no longer receive updates as of October 2025. 3 models that will exit support are the 2011 first gen learning thermostat, 2012 second gen learning thermostat, and 2014 European version of the latter. Google's change means apps, its Nest and Home apps, won't be able to remotely control the thermostats after that. So they're also saying that they will no longer launch new Nest thermostats in Europe, being that heating systems in Europe are unique and have a variety of hardware and software requirements that will make it challenging. So that's it for Europe with Nest. UK regulators want to ban apps that can make deep fake nude images of children, and I think this is an absolutely fantastic way to try to regulate this. And again, they're calling for a ban on AI deep fakes that create images of children in ways that should not ever be created. I did get an email from one of our listeners. Let me go ahead and get this loaded for you. It came in from Michael. I think it came in from Bo. He said, and I was talking about the EU tax. Now, when I say EU tax, I'm saying this in a tongue-in-cheek way, Bo. He says it's not an EU tax. The competition laws is different in the EU and the US. I'm not an expert on that, but that is the problem. Meta and Apple have to adjust to the laws in the EU and operate in the EU. Well, the EU basically has made it so hard to do business and do anything and have so many regulations that because they made it so difficult to operate, that these fines, which are fines and penalties for not following the EU's, rules, they use it as a method to fill their tax coffers. That's what I mean by a tax. They're very, very handy about every so often. Yeah, here's some more billions of dollars we need from you because you've done something we didn't like. So I call it an EU government. Let's call it then just a raid on U.S. companies. Let's just do that. Let's just call it a raid on EU companies. Got an email from Michael. He said, "Hey, Todd, would it be possible to include article links in the newsletter like you used to? It would save me having to go to the website first to get them." Michael, I do put a link to the episode in the show notes. I will try, but can't promise to put the links in the email going forward. I'd love it when you support going to the website and loading the webpage. It always is advantageous for me. It drives a signal to Google, etc. But if I can, I will. It just adds a few extra steps, takes me a little bit longer. I have to run the links through a decoder in AI to get it in a format that's readable, because we have it pre-produced in the system in HTML, which is not pastable into email unless someone knows how to exactly do that. Let me know to make it so that it looks like it's on the website. I'll see if I can figure that out. But again, thank you for your feedback. I do apologize for complaining about my gear. I made the choice here to do the things the way I've done. It's just USB devices are driving me batshit crazy. And like for the rest of the show here, everything's been fine. The audio recording's going good. The people that got hurt are people on the live stream. So on YouTube now, I have to go and replace the video because there's, about 60 seconds of dead air where the roadcaster just basically flipped me the bird. And sometimes and it's just because I don't know if there's not enough power on the USB bus or where the interruption is. Resetting the roadcaster just does not seem to have any effect. And believe me, I've tried to isolate stuff as to the best of my ability, but it is what it is at this point. I guess, as long as we get a good audio recording, we're good. But I want to thank you all for being here. Thanks for being part of the family. Thanks for tuning into the show. Again, thank you for your comments, and a big thank you to the insiders out there. We'll recognize your cash donations shortly. We are confirmed that we're getting Satoshis in again, so feel free to boost away. I want to thank everyone for being here. Everyone take care. We'll see you on the next edition of the Geek News Central podcast on Thursday. Everyone take care. Bye-bye.